Hello, everyone. I think we're live. I feel like I'm having some technical difficulties today, but that's all good. Welcome. Hello, strong moms. I hope you're having an awesome Monday. And I am really excited because over the next 5 days, I'm going to be bringing you guys some awesome training that is relevant not only for my pregnant viewers, but postpartum ladies and fitness coaches too. First off, if you are here and tuning in, drop a comment. Let me know who is here right now. It is so good to see you all. Also, as a favor, please tag or share this with any of your friends who you think would find this information valuable. Okay, guys, so what is this training all about? I'm sure you're asking. Why am I on your screen today? And I am sure you're here because you saw my post asking who was interested to learn about diastasis and pregnancy workouts. But in case you didn't know about that and why I'm on your screen today, this is the first training in a 5-part series all about supporting your diastasis during pregnancy workouts. So this week we will bust some diastasis myths, and I'll help you go from confused to confident when it comes to your diastasis. And I've broken this down into 5 digestible components so that you can walk away with a better understanding about diastasis and supporting your diastasis during your pregnancy workouts. So today's focus is I'm going to introduce diastasis and go over some of the common questions and concerns that I hear regarding this topic. So I'm just going to jump and dive right in, and I'm going to share with you a picture just so that if I can try, share. Just going to share an image with you just so we're a little bit more clear. Hopefully you can see that. If not, I do apologize. So let's get started. What does diastasis mean? First, it does not mean that you're weak, you're broken, you're damaged, nor does it mean that you're doing things wrong, that you're doomed to complications like pelvic floor problems or postpartum problems down the road, and that's a no. It just means you're normal. Your abdominal muscles have expanded to accommodate your baby, and by the end of pregnancy, it is guaranteed that you will have a diastasis. So there is no reason to start panicking now. It happens to everyone. Now, what is a diastasis? A diastasis is when the front connective tissue, known as linea alba, found between your 2 six-pack abs, the rectus abdominis, the other side, kind of in between your six-pack, becomes thinned and stretched out due to expansion, pulling, and stretching. So, in other words, it's a thinning or stretching of that connective tissue. So the question I get asked is it bad or is this bad? Well, aesthetics aside, just by looking at a diastasis, you can't really say, hey, is this good or is this bad? But from a functional perspective, your connective tissue and core helps transfer load through your trunk or abdominals so that you can bend and lift and rotate and generally, move and function. Now, when this gap is too big or it's kind of squishy in the middle, it becomes ineffective at transferring load in this area. So that's one thing we have to think about. Now, why is everyone so freaked out about diastasis anyway? Especially on social media these days, you'll kind of see everyone's a little bit obsessed and blowing it kind of all out of proportion. Well, and it's not a new thing. It's since women have been having babies, diastasis has been a thing. But I think, one of the reasons people are so afraid of it is mainly the aesthetic perspective. And we put so much stress on ourselves to look a certain way, especially, right after baby. And we all want to bounce right back. But from a functional standpoint, the concern of diastasis is that it has the potential to result in pelvic floor complications, abdominal, low back pain, and often instability. But again, these complications aren't guaranteed, and so they tend to leave most women feeling kind of out of control of their bodies. And you can do all the right things and still end up with concerns. So although there is no surefire way to prevent diastasis and completely avoid complications from it, there are some adaptations and exercises we can do during pregnancy to influence a more positive outcome. But that is for later. That's a little teaser of the stuff we're going to talk about later in the week. So be sure to stay with the series. So going back to another common diastasis question is, should I be checking my diastasis during pregnancy? And I will tell you, the answer for me to, anyone is no, flat out no. During pregnancy, checking routinely only causes unnecessary obsession and leads to being discouraged. So your focus should not be on how big is my diastasis today, but it should be asking yourself during your workouts or when you're moving, just kind of doing your everyday things, is how can I move better to support this diastasis? How are you functioning and taking care of your body is way more important than how big your diastasis is during pregnancy. So don't freak out. We'll get to all the considerations of how to kind of support yourself during pregnancy through exercise and your daily movements. We'll get to that a little bit later in the series. And I just wanted to kind of talk today, give you a nice introduction and talk about kind of the general questions so that everyone's on the same page. So I want you to do me one favor. I want you to comment below. I want you to ask any questions about diastasis if you wish, maybe questions I didn't answer. But I would love to hear what your fears or myths that you've heard about diastasis, because I want to bust all those myths. And I want you to come back tomorrow. We're going to talk a little bit more about diastasis, and we're going to talk about the difference between coning and doming. And if you don't know what that is either, you don't want to miss that. So thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you tomorrow.